Alright, kind of want to make another short vid. Um, this time gushing about what Xbox just did with the partnership with Fanta. Um, I remember making. I should go back and say, start off with saying, I remember making a vid a while back during the Game Awards or a little after, praising that with its advertisements as well as the Battlefield launch trailer, the COD versus, parodying Call of Duty with the Warzone stuff with Zac Efron and all of them. I thought it was really charming. On top of it being charming, I thought the whole like it kind of felt very reminiscent of the old golden era. You know what I mean? Of game marketing where it seemed kind of like inescapable. I know I'm kind of like rapid fire and I don't go into the scripted. But yeah, back then it just seemed like that it's like marketing for games took on this whole nother form, like going outside the barrier of gaming, being that every most of the people that were gamers, and this is not to age discriminate people, anybody can be is the free to game, what I'm saying, between all ages, but mainly predominantly like to young kids to kids to young adults, that's mainly like who's this geared to be marketed as, with gaming, even though people, it goes beyond that, but I digress. But, I take it if you watching this, like, you're probably around the same age, 20, late 20, early 20s to late 20s to maybe even the 30s. And you remember them days, with the Xbox and PlayStation 2s, with the commercials as well as the brand deals, like whether you was going to, I remember making that video and talking about like it just seemed like, even something as simple as going to Taco Bell, like you'll find some kind of like memorabilia or something relating to a video game, whether it be, what I'm saying, Uncharted, or Call of Duty. I think that was something that was missing from gaming for quite some time now. I want to say since the last generation, um, the seventh generation of console with the PlayStation 4. It's not like they needed it, like I'll stand there and say like that probably was like the one of the best, you know what I'm saying? Game generation of console gaming. Um, but as time went on, you know, I think it gotten kind of stale. You know what I'm saying? As far as like releases and just things outside of that, when it came to like the marketing and the campaigns and stuff to like sell the games again, not needed, but it's just it's just nice. You feel me? Like to go outside that barrier, at least in my opinion. To grab court attention from all people in different. You know what I'm saying? Who were just out and about doing their thing, you know. Like I said before in the beginning, it's like it just kind of took on this whole nother identity, this whole nother form of just with gaming. Um, in my opinion, I don't know if anybody else can agree with that or you know what I mean, or add on to it. But yeah, this fancy commercial, shout outs, man. Yeah, it looks like Xbox is seeming to know what they're going with this. Making me more excited with this rebrand direction. You know what I'm saying? I'm super excited for this Xbox showcase with this Project Helix or how they're gonna move forward with this. Hopefully they can keep this up. Hopefully this isn't the last. You know, this Fanta commercial. Like like it's not just nostalgia bait. It was very well done. I'd love to see them do more of this in the future. You know, maybe some like old. As time more games come out like Halo and the Fables, excuse me, the Fables come out and stuff, like do some stuff geared towards that. Another one I should mention too. I think people, because it kind of was like one of them shadow drops. Super Meat Boy had a very nice, dope commercial too that felt reminiscent of like the olden days, the golden era with gaming. I think that probably kind of went over people's heads, being that it wasn't like, you know, the biggest. It's kind of like a art, kind of, an arcade style. Very niche, for the people that knows about it, but I haven't heard anybody else talk about it nor, you know what I'm saying, play the game like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any like streamers or whatever. And that's not to say that it's whether or not it's good or not. I played it. I love it. I think it's great. I never, and that's somebody who hasn't really played the original like that back in the day. Um, I only spent a little time to it to really even make a real a judgment towards it. But yeah, Meat Boy, and this is just the same as Plug. This is not paid promo, none of that shit. I just generally think it's a good game. Once you get around the difficulty level, but the gameplay loop is dope. But I'll digress. Yeah, but going back to what I was saying with the whole like um advertisement for the launch title, go look it up. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you get a chance, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Very much so like what I'm talking about, what we see with this Fanta commercial, like brand deal, where it just kind of hits that like, oh, like this is the fun console to have, like they're really they're really hitting that, you know what I'm saying, chord for me. So I hope they keep this up. Maybe they'll make it. Maybe they'll force Sony to go in that direction too. Because I feel like I'll sit there and say like them commercials back in the day with like the PS3 era, of course with the PS2, like those were like holy shit, like imprinted in my brain, with the mascots and shit. I don't know what they really could do with it now, being that unfortunately Sony moved on from a lot of them, like the Jack and Dexters and Sly Coopers. But it'll be dope to see like Insomniac Spider-Man swinging around and shit like that, and fucking like, I don't know, giving somebody a kid a burger or something, like having a Burger King brand deal or something, like, like that. I don't know, man. Like I'm a 29-year-old man, and I will buy into shit like that. You feel me? It'll make me want to go to Burger King or a fast food chain or something, just for like, I don't know, a cup. Again, like this is kind of gonna be like a part two of that video I made before a while back. First being the Game Awards one, as well as the it's kind of derivative of that, I think that's a better word, because it wasn't even like I was doing it intentionally. It was just something, I just talk and kind of gush about whatever I like, or what I'm saying, frustrated with, or whatever, if it's, what I'm saying, on the negative side. But mainly it's positive. That just takes too much energy talking about negative shit all the fucking time. But I digress. But yeah, that Battlefield commercial, that I was really, want more in depth. Like, it was kind of everything I'm talking about now is what I was talking about in that commercial. That launch trailer for Battlefield, I really, really liked it. I'm like, holy shit, I don't know if that went over people's heads or not. I haven't seen anybody talk about it like that. It probably was a couple, but now I haven't seen anybody make videos or anything about it. But I'm like, yeah, like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna just do it myself, because this is great. Hopefully that other people follow suit with that. Sure enough, we're seeing it now. So yeah, I just wanted to make, this is gonna be just a real short video. I like to, what I'm saying, it'll be dope to see this more, from Xbox. They killed it, man. Y'all gotta stay blessed. I'm gonna wrap this up right here.